Hey there, rockhounds. I've got this small handful of stuff that I've found locally, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's really cute just the way it is. But I wish it was just a little shinier. And I'm definitely too impatient to wait for the tumbler, and I'm too impatient to take it to the flat lap, and it's all really too small for the saw. So what do you do with this stuff you find, these little things that you find? I've got a way that I cheat and make them just a little shinier, and I'm going to share that with you guys today. The tile saw is definitely not the right tool for the job today. The trim saw is buried in wire wrapping junk. Not the tool for the job today. Nope, not the big machine. Not today. But this little guy is just right. I got this in my very early rock hounding days when I first got the notion about hunting meteorites. And I thought, I don't have a saw. I was filing things with a file, and I'll admit that I've put a few windows into some suspected meteorites that turned out to be meteorongs using this really gritty side. But while that was one thing that I used it for in my early days of rock hounding, now that I have a trim saw and a tile saw and things like that, I can cut into rocks a lot easier and get an actual window into rocks rather than just grinding a window into them. But this little guy, I've got other wheels that I can try, but I've been so satisfied with the one that came on it that I haven't even tried the other wheels yet. But I've got, I would probably say I'm using this Jeweler's Rouge one. I can't guarantee that that's which one I took out of this package, but I've been happy with this as well, so haven't had to try these. All right, so we turn this machine on, we give it just a little brush of this rouge, and we polish rocks with it. So here we go, guys. I'll show you how this works. Great little tool for the beginner rockhound. This rock is already pretty shiny, but we're gonna make it shinier. I have no idea what that was. So now not only do I use this for polishing rough rocks, you know, this rock, I just picked this up and this is exactly how it looked. I didn't do anything other than this to it to make it shiny. I will also use this every once in a while after I have polished things like for real on the flat lap, ran through all the grits and got all the scratches out. Sometimes I will finish with this just to give things an extra little pop. So that's mostly finished now. What I really need to do still with this is come back through and wipe it with a dry dishcloth to remove any excess buffing compound that may be hidden on it. Pretty cool, huh? Let's do it again. Let's do another one. Yeah. A little bit of that compound like really goes a long way too. Like you don't have to reapply between every stone. I mean, apply as needed if you wanted to. I suppose you could. I don't know. It's just more of it you're gonna wipe off. Make sure I'm not. This thing kind of walks across the table. I gotta look at the camera every once in a while and make sure that I'm staying in focus a little bit. Oops, there we go. Again, we're gonna want to come back through and wipe some of these areas that, and I'll even wash them sometimes, wash them with a little dish soap and water and make sure that I've got all the compound cleaned off of them, and they stay shiny like that. If you don't get the compound washed off of them, well, let's do another one while I'm talking here. If you don't get all that buffing stuff washed off your rock, you'll come back to it, you know, in a few months or whatever, and it'll kind of look like dull and dingy. And if you just hit it real quick with a dishcloth or whatever, it usually will bring it back to life a little bit. This rock, by the way, let's stop and look at this real quick before I hit this with the compound. It really isn't a shiny rock to begin with. Like the other couple that I did were already pretty shiny before I started, but it will be in the end. Which is, I mean, I think that's pretty amazing. This isn't for every rock, by the way. If it's really porous or, you know, just, it's some rocks just aren't going to take a polish, but for the most part, this is just like the fastest, you know, speed polishing. The next one I'm gonna do is super tiny, and hopefully it doesn't go flying across the room on us, any of these, by the way, or get stuck down in there. If it gets stuck down in there, it's kind of scary. The next one that I'm gonna do is really tiny, and I'm gonna tell you something that's kind of cool about this way of polishing rocks as opposed to running it through your tumbler. If it's super tiny like that, your tumbler's gonna just eat it up. It's gonna be even tinier when it comes out of the tumbler. So that one's gonna be good enough. We're gonna go wash that one off again when we're done here, and that's gonna be good enough for now. A lot of this stuff that's on here will go away, and it'll be shiny. So, like I say, like this one is so cute, but it's so tiny, and if you put it in a rock tumbler, it would just disappear into nothingness. Again, cute, almost kind of shiny as is, but we're gonna give it a little pow. Hopefully, like I say, hopefully I don't drop it. Ooh. Check this out. Already. Ooh, pretty little rock. Pretty rocks out on the prairie. Pretty rocks are everywhere. Pretty rocks for us to look at. Pretty rocks are everywhere. Pretty little beano. Little bean. Let's check you out. Little cutie. What's next? We'll do maybe one or two more, and then we'll call it good. Alright, this one's got a weird shape to it. Yeah, let's hit it. Here's where I did. Here's where I haven't. Here's where I did. Here's where I haven't. Let's keep going. I mean, like, one of these days I'm gonna wear this one out. I'm gonna have to try one of those other ones. Like I say, until then, this one does just such a good job that I'm totally happy using it. I haven't had a need to try any of those other ones yet. polishing pretty much done here. Ba-boom. Pretty little thing. How about this one? It's cool. Let's make it cooler. Yeah, buddy. Oh, yeah. Isn't this a cool little way to polish rocks? I mean, I'm not like the discoverer of this or anything, but and I mean, it almost feels like cheating compared to like really polishing things on a flat lap or tumbling things for weeks and weeks. This feels like cheating a little bit, but like I say, it's not right for all rocks. This isn't going to work for everything, but look at this one. Will it focus? Will it focus? There it is. Come on, focus. It's like, no, it's too shiny. I can't possibly focus on something so shiny. Oh my goodness, it's terrible. Turned out cool. The next step, like I say, is just to take these stones and rub all of the excess compound off of them with like your grandma's old dishcloth are the ones that I like to use. Microfibers are fine for this too, by the way. That's, you know, another rag that I'll go to for this job is a microfiber. Got some nice microfiber rags that do a good job here too. And like I say, if I went a little heavy on the compound, or like if I'm gonna give these away to anybody or do anything more than do anything more than just keep them for myself, I like to kind of wash them off, like really wash them with soap and water. Make sure I get in the cracks with the rag. They're cool. This was a fun little batch. There we go. We got that little bit of scuzz off there. I don't know if you guys saw me do that or not. Here, like, we're gonna get this off. See it kind of disappear there. I use my fingernail a little bit if I need to. Cool. Ooh, and now it's just so smooth, about to pop right on my fingers. Cool. Little bean. Yeah. Last one here. Yeah. Thanks everybody for hanging out with me today. Like I say, I almost feel like this is like a cheating way of polishing rocks after I've done it through a tumbler for weeks and weeks, 3, 4, 5 weeks in a tumbler, or after I've spent hours and hours polishing things on my flat lap. And even, I mean, if you're lucky enough to have a nice cabbing machine, then you would never probably waste your time with something silly like this. But even my old vintage cabbing machine, the wheels on it are trashed, and so I still, if I want to make high quality shiny stuff, I have to take stuff back to my flat lap and run it through the grits to get a nice finish. So this is the next best thing if you ask me. And if you're on a budget and you just want to make your rocks a little shinier just for you, or you're impatient and you don't have time for a tumbler, this is a nice, like almost meditative way to tumble your rocks and polish things and just make them, a little prettier. So if that's what you're into, I'm glad that you stumbled across this video today, and go get you one of these little but mighty fun little guys. The right tool for the job today. It was the right tool for the job today. Thanks for watching, everybody.